Alright, so how I built these pythons, how I got these forearms, these triceps, these biceps. They're now like hair over 18 inches naturally. How I got these arms. At their biggest, they were 20 inches naturally. So, dropping the arm routine. Person in my body, reverse body dysmorphia video comment said, arm routine, please. So, this for you. All right, so essentially, what I do for the triceps is any press. I do bench press primarily, but even before bench press, I would do years of push ups, years of dips. But my primary exercise for triceps, shoulders, and even forearms would be bench press. Bench press a lot of weight. Get to heavy weight for high reps, light weight for high reps, heavy weight for high reps or low reps. Just if you have a strong bench press, you're gonna have big triceps, you're gonna have big shoulders, you're gonna have big forearms. Especially, and first and foremost, most of it will be genetics. You won't see somebody who has a freaky big bench. I mean, and it's also pound for pound, but say you weigh over 200, you're benching in the 400, 500, 600 range, maybe 700. Your upper body is just going to be monstrous. You'll have monstrous arms if you bench that much. And if you bench in the 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, you're going to have a monstrous arms, monstrous upper body. And if you bench in the 300s and 200s, you'll still have big arms, but you'll have to weigh like under 200 pounds for 200 something, 300 something pound bench to give you big arms. And also, you have to have like not just have be under 200 pounds or be low 200 pounds. You also have to train like a bodybuilder, as in that's my next point. Another way to get big arms, you have to train like a bodybuilder. High reps, full range of motion, slow and controlled tempo, full stretch, and also you have to do curls. Obviously, the best way to get big biceps, let me see, biceps, is to curl. And if you do curls like a bodybuilder, whether it's heavyweight or lightweight, just full contraction, you're going to get big biceps, period. And it also depends on insertions for biceps. And forearms, too, same thing. It's genetics like calves. And also, yeah, that for biceps. And what you could also do for big biceps, you could do barbell rows. Get your barbell rows strict to like sets of, if you could do 185 pounds for sets of 10 to 20 reps, strict, and even to the point where you get like 200s, or if for monster biceps and forearms and even back, you'll get like 300s, 400s, 500s, 600-pound rows, barbell rows with good form. You're gonna have big biceps, you're gonna have a monstrous back, you'll have big forearms with good form and not partial range of motion. Barbell row a lot of weight, and even more than rows. Rows are really good for back and building the deadlift and getting strong and building mass. But what also helps is pull ups. Get to a point where you're doing at least I would say if you're heavy, like 250 pounds and more, you'll have intermediate arms if you do 5 to 6 reps, full range of motion at like 250 to 300 pounds body weight. But if you're like very heavy, the heavier you are, the harder pull ups will be. But what you want to do is at least minimum a set of 10 pull ups with your body weight. And that even goes for chin ups. Good range of motion, almost full range of motion. Once you get to like the 15, 20 rep range, then you pretty much master pull ups. You're going to have big biceps, you're going to have big forearms, you're going to have big back. And once you get to the point you're doing them weighted, where you're doing with weighted pull ups, you wanted to use like maybe get close to 10 reps with starting 25 pounds attached, then 45 pounds attached, 70 pounds attached, 80 pounds attached, 90 pounds attached, 100 pounds attached, 115 pounds attached, 135 pounds attached. And when you get to a point where you're doing 135 pounds attached for one or few reps, you're going to have a pretty big back and biceps and forearms for chin ups and pull ups. And if you get to the point where you're doing 150, 160, 170, 180 pounds, 200 pounds, you're going to have a big biceps, forearms, back, and even shoulders. And like I said, if you lift monstrous weights in all these upper body pulling movements, upper body pushing movements for good range of motion, full range of motion, and especially on top of that slow and controlled, you're going to be big. Period. Natural or steroids, you're going to be big. You're going to look monstrous. Mass moves mass. And obviously genetics play a role. You just have to have the inserts. And also being lean enough without being too lean. Depending, that also plays genetics. But especially when you're natural, you have to get away with being fluffy for a while to get strong. And if you get too fat for absolute strength, it'll just show as fat for the most part. But you'll definitely see you have a lot of muscle, especially if you truly cut and you have a lot of body. If you're obese and too fat, yeah, and you're extremely strong, the strongest ever, all you have to do is cut. You'll look insanely because there's so much muscle underneath the obesity. That so much muscle. All you have to do is cut. That's it. You mastered bulking. You mastered strength. Then you will look like a freak bodybuilder, even if you're natural. So the exercises: bench press, chin ups, pull ups, weighted pull ups, weighted chin ups, dips, push ups, weighted dips, weighted push ups, and even hard exercise variations like planche, front lever, planche push ups, front lever push ups, and train shoulders too. Shoulder press, strict OHP, strict overhead press, barbell shoulder press, dumbbell shoulder press, variations like incline bench, and just opposing competition stance press for bench, and maybe you utilize dumbbells. And also, yeah, same thing, barbell curls, dumbbell curls. Maybe you could just throw around weight with cheat curls, and also you'll get more benefits when you do strict curls. Maybe against the wall, maybe strict curls, full range of motion, heavy weight, curl. You'll get big. You'll get arms as big as possible when you curl. And yeah, when you curl, you get arms as big as possible. Biceps. You can still get big biceps doing chin ups and rows, but when you maximize it with curls, you'll get it even bigger. Same thing with triceps. You can press a lot of weight, bench a crap ton of weight, you'll get big triceps. But if you want to maximize tricep growth, you'll do press downs with the cable. You'll do skull crushers, lying or overhead. You'll do shoulder press. Shoulder press as much weight as possible. Like get to a point where you're doing 185 for reps, 5 to 10 reps, maybe 225 for reps, at least one rep of 225, 275, 315, 365, 405, or Andrew Richard did and get 500, which will be almost nobody because he's a freak. It's really strong, but that's what it takes. Just get freakishly strong on those movements, and also do like side laterals, front raises, maybe handstand push-ups, weighted handstand push-ups. And that's really a little over 10 minutes. So gonna pulls my bicep. That's an arm. That's pretty much what you can do for arms. That's what I've been doing over the years for arms. That's what I do for arms. I haven't really isolated arms actually. I just do the compounds. But I've been experimenting sometimes with dumbbell curls or sometimes just throw weight on hammer curls. But I just been doing like chin ups, weighted pull ups, weighted dips, weighted chin ups, bench press, shoulder press, sometimes barbell row, and you'll build base of your arms and upper body. And that's it, boy.